Guys, when I got involved in this business back in August of 1990, I was wide-eyed, and I was so excited about it. And, everybody that I was going to, bring into the business was going to be the next biggest income earner. I figured that I was probably going to make my first million. It'd probably take me about 30 days to get that done. Okay? That's how I'm thinking this whole thing, right? So, guys, what I did is I made a list. I made a list of people that I was going to contact right away about this business. The first 8 people that I shared the opportunity with, now remember who these 8 people were. These were my can't-miss prospects. Let's get these guys in. Let's get them started. Let's get these guys out of the way, and then we'll go tackle everybody else. The first 8 people that I shared the opportunity with said I was nuts, said I was crazy, said the thing was never going to work, and my brother-in-law laughed at me. He laughed at me. And by him doing so, he absolutely sealed my success in this business. Okay? Because I was never going to let my brother-in-law Jim tell me, I told you that thing wasn't going to work. All right? He sealed my success. Well, about 3 years after I showed my brother-in-law Jim the business, he called me. Now, you guys got to understand something. He never calls. He never calls. I saw Jim 9 times in that 3-year period. I saw him at Christmas, Easter, and Thanksgiving. And that's the only, he never calls. And when he called and wanted to talk to me, he didn't even want to talk to his sister. I thought something was up. I said, Jim, what's up? He said, well, Julie and I have been thinking. And I just said to myself, I'm going to have so much fun with this. I said, yeah. He said, Julie and I have been thinking, and we think it's time that we get started in your business. I said, Jim, what makes you think I'm going to let you in? He goes, what do you mean? I said, Jim, I showed you this program 3 years ago. Why is it such a good deal today as opposed to 3 years ago? Well, I saw you and Colleen, you bought the house, you bought the car, you both quit your job. I said, Jim, that's all true. But to be honest with you, we have all the reps we need in your area. You could pinpoint his house, take a 5-county radius, and not find a rep. I just played with him and played with him and played with him. And after about 15, 20 minutes, I said, okay, I'll see what I can do. Well, my brother-in-law, Jim, got involved in the business. He wasn't a superstar, but you know what he did? He made enough money to make his house payment, made enough money to make his car payment. My point is that if I had stopped working this business, if I had listened to his advice, would I have ever had a chance to get him into my business? None. See, guys, the day that you get your very first no in this business is the day that you give up all rights to quit. Wow. How many of you have gotten a no in this business so far? You are in for life. You guys are in for life, okay? Now, another one of those 8 was my Uncle Bob. Do you guys have an Uncle Bob? Would you like another one? Okay. Now, my Uncle Bob, this is my mom's brother. In many ways, I would like to be like my Uncle Bob, okay? Many ways, I don't want to be like my Uncle Bob. My Uncle Bob, he's lived his entire life seeing the glass as half empty as opposed to half full. When I showed my Uncle Bob the business, he looked at me and he said, come on, that thing is never going to work. That thing is never going to work. Don't quit your day job, but I'll tell you what, I wouldn't talk to very many people about that. And I thought to myself, okay, this guy's not going to make my house payment for me, so I'm not going to listen to him. Well, we started to show a little bit of success. After I quit my job, I contacted my Uncle Bob. I said, Bob, this thing is rocking. You have got to come and take a look at this thing. You know what he said to me? It'll never last. It'll never last. So what do we have so far? It'll never work. Now it'll never last. Okay. My mom, on my mom's side of the family, she has 5 brothers and sisters, and every year they take turns hosting Christmas. Well, this particular year, it was my mom's turn to host Christmas. And we had just built our house, which I'll show you in a second. You guys probably everybody has seen that house, okay? And I called my mom, and I said, Mom, I know it's your time and your turn to host Christmas, but do you want to host it at my house? And the reason I asked her to do that was I knew that Uncle Bob was coming. I knew Uncle Bob was going to be there. Guys, this was a beautiful, beautiful winter night in Wisconsin. The snow was lightly falling, and I'm standing at the front door watching the cars pull in, waiting for Uncle Bob. And as everybody pulls up, we've got this big round circular driveway. Everybody's just sort of parking there, and they're coming in the front door, and everything's great. And all of a sudden, I see my Uncle Bob and Aunt Betty pull up. I met them in the driveway. And I said, no, don't park up here. Let's go over by the garage. Let's park over here. So I pulled Bob and Betty up by our garage and made him walk through our 6-car garage. Lexus 1, Lexus 2, Lexus 3. Okay? I made him weave through the cars. Okay? So we get in the house, and, everybody's doing what they're doing. I said, Bob, come here. I want to give you a little tour. And I took my Uncle Bob on a private tour of my house. It took over an hour. And I showed him everything that house had to offer. And you know what my Uncle Bob said to me? He goes, oh my gosh. He said, that little business of yours is working out pretty well, isn't it? I said, Bob, you're not going to, I said, you have no idea. You have no idea what this business has done for me and Colleen and our family. You know what he said to me? Now I'm too late. Now I'm too late. It'll never work. It'll never last. And now I'm too late. My Uncle Bob, I'll tell you what, guys, his entire life, he has lived his entire life as just a really negative guy. Just run from negativity like that. I don't need my Uncle Bob. I love my Uncle Bob to death. I don't need him in my business. I don't need the negativity. Okay? Amen. To this day, my Uncle Bob struggles financially. And he's known about me and my industry in this business for 22 years. Move on, move on, move on.